So here is the million-dollar question. What do we really need to know about the affair? And after we find out about the affair, I think that most of us go through a time when we absolutely want to absorb every little detail about what happened. We need to know absolutely everything, and we sprinkle and pepper our husband with a million questions. And I think we do this because subconsciously we feel like if we just knew everything, if we just had all of the information, then somehow, some way, we would keep this from happening ever again. Well, the reality of all of that is that we can't, right? I mean, we can't control other people. We have absolutely no way of knowing if it will ever happen again. And even if we did have all of this information, every single little detail, I don't know that we could stop it. We can't control other people, and that includes our own husband. But we do want to know things, and I believe it's completely normal and okay to know things. I think what I want to get through to everyone in this video is to just make sure that you're asking the things you really need to know, not everything you think you want to know. And those are two completely different things. The things that I think we all should know, and the questions we probably should ask, are things such as the facts. The facts are important. It's important for us to heal. It's important for us to put a timeline together in our minds and to try to wrap our brains around and understand the period of events and the timeline of when things took place. So things like, when did you meet? It's important to know, is she married? Does she have a family? To know where they met, to know how often they met, things like that. This is important, especially things like, how did they communicate? Putting reference behind something that's been happening behind our back for a long time does help the closure process. The facts are important. So asking those questions, sure, totally, we need to ask those things. But I want to caution all of us to really consider the questions we ask that are completely subjective. And here's some examples. Asking our husband, do you think she was prettier than me? Or was sex better with her? Or do you love her more than you love me? Asking our husband to talk about how they feel or what they think about the affair partner in comparison to us, that's what I'm talking about, is dangerous. And here's why. There's a lot of confusion going on with anyone who's had an affair. Coming out of something like that, they don't really know how they feel sometimes, and it's very confusing for them. So asking them to answer a question like that, listen guys, we all know the answer we want to those questions, right? We have answers we need to hear, and I hate to say that we're going to be disappointed with the answer. It's not going to be what we want to hear. And it's not that our spouse is a horrible human being, but when we put them on the spot like that, we need to be prepared for what they may or may not say. So when it comes to those types of subjective questions, those questions that really make them have to talk about how they feel when they really don't even know how they may feel, it's asking for trouble. So here's a suggestion. If you're at that phase and you found out about the affair and you're ready to talk about it and you want to get information, literally get out a piece of paper and write down those fact questions. When did you meet? How did you meet? What was your form of communication? Where did you meet? How often? What dates? Dates are important. The things that will help you move on. That's the kind of transparency and disclosure we all really need. When you start writing down these kinds of subjective questions, just highlight it with a highlighter and just hang on. Let it sit for a while. Guys, we can't take away or forget the answers to any of these questions. Once that answer is out there, even if our husband didn't mean what they were saying or they didn't say it right and it hurts us, it can't be taken back. It's out there. So be real cautious what you ask, and ask yourself over and over, do I really need to know this? Ask yourself, is this going to help me heal, or is this going to hurt me? And then decide at that point what you need to know. And having that piece of paper with those questions when you do sit down and actually have this conversation is very helpful. Just check them off as you go. Just get the details. And another good suggestion is don't do it all in one sitting. Ask a few of them, take a couple of days break. Ask a few more, take a couple of days break. Give your mind and your heart time to digest what you just heard. I think that you will appreciate that little bit of a break, and that may help you a lot in your process. So I hope this was helpful information for you. I, in many ways, wish I would have done this myself 10 years ago when it was me peppering the questions. I think I would have managed my emotions and managed communication with my husband a lot better had I taken my own advice back then. But I think it's sage advice now, and I hope you find it helpful in your situation. I have a Facebook group that I love. It's just a group of women just like you, just like me, who are trying to mend and heal our marriage after the affair. I'd love for you to join us. The link is below this video. Please just click on it and join us. We'd love to be a great support system for you. In the meantime, hang in there. It's not an easy journey, but it can be a very rewarding one. Take care.